Sounds like a fire alarm. My finger gets tired. Woo! That is insane, man. Hey, thanks for tuning in to TWANGnBANG. This is it. This is the one. This is the configuration that I have been waiting for ever since CMMG took me into their secret room at SHOT Show 3 years ago in their booth and showed me their prototype for the CMMG Guard in 45 ACP. Of course, the first thing I asked was, are you working on a version in 10mm? They were, but obviously the 45, the 9, the 22 long rifle, the 5.7, and even 40 Smith & Wesson got some love before they were able to crack the nut with the 10mm. I think this is my 4th video on the CMMG radial delay blowback system, and every time I'm explaining how it's very difficult to get the cuts in the lugs just right to allow softer cycling than pistol caliber carbines already are, while still allowing enough speed in the bolt carrier for reliable cycling. The 10mm took CMMG so long to get right because they wanted to make sure that it would work with a wide variety of ammo and not just full power loads or just powder puff loads. And their patience paid off. The result is a 10mm that is not only reliable, but also really fun to shoot. And that's why it's coming up next on TWANGnBANG. The Banshee 10mm is CMMG's latest variant of their AR-based pistol caliber carbines. Outwardly, it has the same appearance as the others that came before it. On the inside is a radial delayed blowback system tuned to handle the higher pressures the 10mm is known for, while reliably cycling a variety of loads and bullet types. To make the most of the 10mm cartridge's ballistics, CMMG chose to use an 8-inch 4140 chrome moly steel barrel. It's factory threaded 5.78 by 28 to accept common 45 caliber silencers, but I kept the included SV brake in place for my testing. It sits under a 7-inch M-LOK handguard. The Banshee uses a standard AR-15 upper receiver, which means it has a functional forward assist that most pistol caliber carbines forego. The lower receiver has a huge Glock-compatible magwell, though it was further optimized for the included 30-round mag from SGM Tactical. This variant is a pistol outfitted with CMMG's rip brace. It looks like the SB Tactical's excellent SBA-3 pistol brace because it's made in partnership with them. The proprietary receiver extension has ramps at the back of every adjustment hole. This allows fast, one-handed deployment of the rip brace to full extension or one of 3 other positions with use of a travel stop set screw. The Banshee 10mm pistol weighs 5 pounds 9 ounces and is only 24.3 inches in length with the rip brace collapsed. So I've got the 10mm here and the 9mm here to show how far they've come with the design and the specifications since they first came out. These make especially great comparisons because these are both pistol variants that were available at the time with 8-inch barrels. So this is apples to apples comparison. They switched from key mod to M-LOK in the handguard. They switched logos from this one with the carry handle to this one. They went from a standard charging handle, which I swapped out with an extended lever version, to an ambidextrous charging handle. My favorite change, which I see as a huge upgrade, is the switch from the blade stabilizing brace to their rip brace, which is based on the excellent SBA-3 from SB Tactical. Of course, they changed the name from the Guard, which actually doesn't even show up on this, to the Banshee, which they now have engraved and painted on the side. In addition to the ambidextrous charging handle, they also now go with an ambidextrous safety selector. Those are the changes on the outside, but they also made a really cool change on the inside. Before I get to the change on the inside, I want to show you that they are the same with the bolt carrier, and they do both have the same ability to change the carrier weights. I have the heavier of the 2 weights that sit on the inside of the carrier in the 9mm version because I'm running it suppressed. But the 10mm is much higher pressure when shooting full power loads, so they have their absolute heaviest weight installed from the factory. For simplicity and cost, CMMG uses standard AR-15 barrel extensions with the feed ramps already cut in. The issue with that is a magazine for a 5.56 variant of an AR-15 is double stacked all the way to the top. So as it cycles, it's feeding one round from the right, and then the next round from the left, and the next round from the right, and so on and so forth. And that's why it has 2 feed ramps at the bottom. And this is, let me see if I can get my finger, where my thumb is, that's the bottom. And that works okay for 5.56 and variants of that cartridge. But the problem with pistol caliber carbines using this barrel extension is that they're single stack at the top. Glock mags feed straight down the center of that pipe. And for some rounds, like really fat hollow points, they were hanging up on that part of the barrel extension between those 2 feed ramps. And that was causing problems for cycling. Well, CMMG has now changed that. It's not just in the 10mm variant, but I think they've done this across the board. Let me show you what it looks like. They now cut a very deep feed ramp right in the middle at the bottom. Again, the bottom is right where my thumb is, and you can see that very, trying to get that in focus, very, very fat feed ramp. And that seems to have solved the cycling problems for fat hollow points, not just with 10mm, didn't have any problems with this one, but for all the other calibers as well. I think that's a great change that they made. Ordinarily, I spin off whatever muzzle device they send my way and put a silencer on there, but they have this on so tight, I couldn't get it off, not by ordinary means, and I thought, maybe I should try it with the brake. Well, I'm really liking this brake a whole lot, and I think you'll see why. Now I'm going to see how it does with these super fat hollow points. I'm just going to run a mag dump at this steel plate. That was super flat. Woo! Oh, that can't be good to breathe. Ugh. Ran it like a champ. Woo! I think those clips summed up what I love about pistol caliber ARs. They're just really fun to shoot, but CMMG's radial delay blowback system makes an even bigger difference than I could show on video. This system is one of my favorite new takes on an old design, partly because it makes an already soft shooting pistol caliber carbine even softer shooting, and partly because it turns these into fantastic silencer hosts. I've been waiting for this variant of the Banshee for so long, I haven't given any thought as to where they might take the design next. I mean, they have 45 ACP, they have 9mm, they have 5.7, they've got 40 Smith & Wesson, 22 long rifle, and now 10mm. I'd say that's a pretty complete list. But if you have any ideas of what they need to do next, be sure to leave it in the comments because I know CMMG will be reading it. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, but also check out CMMG's YouTube channel. They've been putting a lot of work into it lately, and I have it linked in the video description below. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.